Now let's be honest about this. This is one hell of a sexy gun. It is well built, superior quality, it looks the part, it is lightweight, it just wants to be shot. And today we're out here at the 50-meter range, out on the farm, and I'm going to put this gun through its paces. Alright, so it's been a while since I did the initial testing with the Brocock Concept Xr Lite. The last time I tested that, I tested different pellets, hunting pellets, normal pellets, everything round about at 30 meters to see what the accuracy is like. And I was quite surprised that the gun is not pellet fussy at all. And the results were quite amazing. Go and have a look at the initial video if you don't mind. Do look at that. So today, I'm going to do something a little bit more different. I'm going to stretch the legs out to 70 meters. But as nature has it, there's a bit of a breeze in the air. So this is a open shooting range. This is a formal shooting range with all the necessary precautions for the YouTube police again. I'm out on a farm. The wind is funneling a little bit in between the trees, so the wind drift might be a little bit exaggerated as we go along, but I'll try my best in that regard. So I'm going to take two things into consideration today. First and foremost, accuracy with 2.2 pellets at 70 meters. So I've got a different pellets here and different weights. I've got the 15.89 grainers and the 18.13 grainers in different brands. I've also got some hunting pellets. If I've got time, I'll throw that into the mix. And the second thing I want to look at is how much holdover you need to actually hold over. So the gun is zeroed at 30 meters, 33 yards. I'm going to shoot at 70 meters, 77 yards. And I want to check at the different speeds, and there's 3 speed settings I'm going to choose. How much holdover must I allow for that distance and the speed, as well as how much must I actually hold over or hold sideways for the wind pushing me from the side on this scenario. So currently the wind is at a 45-degree angle. It is definitely going to affect the pellets that I shoot today. There's no two ways about this. This gun is running anywhere between 770 feet per second and I think 820 if I remember correctly. I'm quickly going to zero it again at 30 meters. On the front I've got the Donny FL Fat Boy on. Nice little sturdy silencer on here. Short, not a huge amount of volume to do sound suppression, but just enough to make this gun bearable. On the top I've got the Valiant 4-16 scope. There's another video about that as well. And then I've got this Atlas bipod in the front. The Atlas bipod is actually made for heavy duty rimfire guns, but why not put it on this little baby and steady it a little bit more. So with that in mind, let's get into what we're here to do today. Alright, after that hell of a long intro, doing the first test shots with this wind, 70 meters is way too optimistic. I'm going to reduce the distance to 50 meters and see if there's any better chance of hitting the target at that. At this stage, with a slight breeze, I need to hold over yay much, about 9 inches. Men, that's 9 inches, not that, 9 inches to the right for a slight breeze at 70 meters. So obviously pellet hunting 70 meters, very, very risky. Let's reduce the distance to 50 meters and see what accuracy we can achieve out of this gun. Right, my beanie is on, the wind is chillos. First up, I'm going to shoot the 16 grains or the 15.89 grains Olympia shots, 3 different speeds, 50 meters. Let's rip it. Alright, with wind at 50 meters, that didn't go as planned. Let's up the speed a little bit and see what happens. Alright, so that was slightly better. Let's see if we up it a little bit. So this is not a huge difference in speed, but I'm going to hold a little bit less for the wind and also a little bit less holdover. Okay, so those zipped a little bit faster than expected, around about 850, almost touching 860. I held over 1 mil dot. It was obviously way too high. I should have held over only half a mil dot. So that's quite interesting. At 860 feet, 0 to 30 meters, at 50 meters, half a mil dot. That's impressive. The light pellet struggled a little bit in the wind. When I do the final measurements, I'll show you guys that. But the moment the gusts pick up, it pushes them all over the place. But that's what we're here to do. Let's go on to our next 16 grainers in this category.
Time to be brutally honest here. This was yuck. Oh no. Well, at the fast speed at 851 feet per second, at least there's a little bit of consistency, although a lot of wind push. As if these pellets are slightly longer than the other brands, so they are a little bit more affected by the wind. But this is not acceptable. Let's try something different.
Time to move on to the JSBs in 15.89 grain to see what they do at 50 meters. Well, that's not a bad start. Let's yank up the speed, power setting 2. Right, let's crank up the volume. Wow, alright, that's not bad at all. I went dead center for the target to give you guys an indication of actual drop pitch at 50 meters. That was about at 855 feet. Remember, the gun is zeroed at 30 meters. So in real terms, about an inch and a bit drop at 50 meters, which is not bad. 850 feet per second. That is not too shabby nice. Let's go measure up.
Alright, so there's a definite improvement between the two different brands of pellets in this scenario, going down to a 1-inch grouping, but still, this gun can do better. For the price of this specific gun, I do expect this to shoot an 1/2 inch grouping at 50 meters. Even with the wind, I still expect an 1/2 inch. So at this stage, nope, I'm not happy.
Right folks, so the only hunting pellet I've got in 16 grain is the Predator Polymags in 16 grain, and unfortunately they are slightly too big to fit into the magazine itself. And there's a cell phone going off in the background, hilarious. Wouldn't expect that on a shooting range. Maybe I should shoot that cell phone. That's a topic for another day. So I'm going to single load these, starting on power setting 1 again. Let's rip it. Oof, that one fell out of the air. Let me add a little bit of height on that one. Let's go for 2.5 mil dots. Oof, that wasn't fun. One thing I noticed about the Polymags is the moment the wind picked up a little bit, they got a little bit more erratic. So obviously they don't like wind at all. Let's up the power and see what it does. Definitely a lot more consistency at the higher speed, but I could actually see the pellets spiral through the air. So your point of impact on 30, 40 and 50 meters is going to differ if they spiral through the air, because they don't keep a steady parabole through the air. Let's chase them up a little bit faster. Oh, alright, except for that last one, the grouping wasn't too bad. Well, that's the last of the 16 grainers. When I move over to the 18 grainers, I'm not going to shoot them at the lower speed settings. I'm not going to waste my time and your time. I'm only going to shoot them at power setting 3 and 4 in that regard. Okay, let's go measure those babies up, give you guys some results on that, and move over to the 18 grainers.
I think I'm being too kind to say that there was some sort of grouping with these pellets. But yuck, come on guys. This caliber gun, that grouping, nah, let's move on to something a little more serious, and let's hope and pray the 18 grainers group a little bit better, because at this stage I'm not a happy chappy.
Right, so the wind calmed down a little bit now, in such a way that I can take off my beanie. No air. There's a reason I've got no air. Just leave it there. Alright, it's got nothing to do with the wife. Right, let's jump into this. 18 grainers. These are the Baracuda Hunters. This is the hunting pellet I'm going to test at 50 meters. Now, according to the website, they're actually super accurate up to 30 meters. So I'm pushing them beyond what the manufacturer recommendations are. But out of my previous tests, I know that these Baracuda Hunters got quite a punch when they hit, and they're quite accurate. So let's see how they stack up at 50 meters. Power setting 3. Wow, that was nice. That was really decent. Wow, that one wasn't a flyer. I had issues loading the pellet and injured or probably bent the skirt in the loading process. But that was a bloody brilliant grouping. At 50 meters, at that speed, around about 784 feet per second, 18.2 grainers, hunting pellets. Wow, wow, wow. That's a nice group. Let's go measure up. I can't wait to measure that one. Yeah.
By far the best grouping for the day. With those couple of shots there, around about an inch at 50 meters with a hunting pellet, that will hit a dove center mass every single time. If you're going for smaller prey at 50 meters, then I think you are a much better shot than I am. You probably are, let's not argue about that. But this was off a bench, so this was ideal situation. The one right to the bottom had a bit of an issue loading the pellet into the chamber itself, so I think I bent the skirt in the process. But for a hunting pellet with the knocking power of the Baracuda Hunters, I love this. This is a lot better.
Next one up for a shave, H&N's Baracuda 18s. Same procedure as every year, James. Alright, bit of point of impact shift between the Baracuda Hunters and the Baracuda 18s, but that's the difference between pellets. You'll always have that little bit of point of impact shift. Let's go again. Let's up the power a little bit and really let them fly. That's not bad. That's a decent grouping. Obviously the Baracudas love the little bit of extra speed as well. That is quite decent. Alright, let's go and measure up.
A bit of a mixed bag here with the Baracuda 18s. The Baracuda Hunters actually grouped a bit better. But this is because the Baracuda Hunters, in my opinion, needs a little bit of extra speed. Shooting them at the maximum power with this Brocock at 786 feet per second is not doing the pellet justice at all. The groupings can be a lot better, but for that I have to up the speed, and unfortunately I can't with the Brocock.
2 more to go. Next one up, Diablos, JSBs in... No, this is the wrong one. Oh my shitness. Okay. 2 more to go. These are the Jumbo Exacts from JSB in 18.13 grain. Yo, the wind absolutely created havoc there. Havoc, havoc, havoc. You'll see the lateral movement there. That's just the wind. And I couldn't wait for the wind to die down. It's gusting between the trees, picking up speed, then dropping again. From a height perspective, not bad. But from a wind perspective, pellets, they are sensitive to the wind, man. Very sensitive. Alright, again a little bit of lateral movement, but not too bad. I think that wasn't too shabby at all. Could that have been better? Yes. Could the wind have died down? Yes. Did it? No. Alright, one more to go.
I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but I still do think that the JSBs and all the other 18 grainers needs to be shot at a greater speed. 780 is just not cutting it. This one at 796 average, nope, still not doing it for me. And for that reason, we'll see that the groupings aren't as tight as what I wished them to be.
Last pellet up for a shave. Cometas. These are the exact jumbos. Yes, they are carefully selected by JSB. So let's see if these carefully selected pellets are any better in the wind. Honestly, what do you guys think? Will it be? Won't it be? Will it be? Won't it be? The age-old question. I'll try my best. Ooh. Man, why is there always one flyer? Can't I have one day without a flyer, please? That was an awesome group. The wind died on me completely. One small little flyer, but 8 of them, I should say, in a half an inch group at 50 meters. Very, very impressive. So obviously these pellets like a little bit of speed as well. And if I look at all the pellets, they all performed a lot better at speed. So obviously having the lower power settings, that might be applicable to the 16 grainers, not so much to the 18 grainers. The 18 grainers love the speed a lot more. Let me go and measure that up, and then we can see who was the best on the day.
Well, at least the Comeat's carefully selected pellets did indeed do a bit better than the JSBs. From a total overall perspective, I wasn't too happy with the total results of the Brocock, but that might be just due to the speed. If you up the speed a little bit, I think specifically in the wind, you'll get totally different results.
Okay, now for the difficult decision. Is there a clear winner? And the answer is hell yes, there's a clear winner. And the winner is the gun, not the pellets. The gun has proven through all the different ranges, through all the different pellets, that it shoots every single pellet, make, brand, shape, form, weight, all of them very consistently, very accurately, and without any fuss. So from that perspective, it's not about the pellet you put in this gun, it's about the nut behind the gun. Can the nut behind the gun actually shoot, yes or no? Because you cannot fault the gun at all. So from this setup, I think this is an awesome setup. From the adjustable stock, the dovetailings on the back, the build quality of this gun is absolutely superior. Everything is solid. The consistency is there. The adjustability of the gun is there. If there's one fault that I don't want to name it, because it plays into some of the other brands' space. I would have loved to be able to push the power on the 18 grainers a little bit higher. In my personal experience, 18 grain pellets between 840 to 870 feet per second. That's where I've seen my best accuracy. The gun's power is slightly below that. So from an 18 grain perspective, yes, you will get accuracy, you'll get very good accuracy, but that little bit, that edge, that last little bit that you might need, might not be there. That is the only thing I can fault. If I look at this gun, I'll probably shoot the 16 grain pellets most of the time. For the simplistic reason, I can shoot them right in the sweet spot where I love them, around about 840 to 870, and the gun's adjustability with the power wheel allows me that adjustability. But from an overall expensive, if I have to rate this gun out of 10, I'll probably go for an 8.5. And as I said, the only minor things that irritated me, first and foremost, very small cylinder. So from 200 bar shooting down to about 110 bar, 40-45 decent shots, which is not bad for a hunting rifle. For me, that throws a heck of a lot of lead. Having to get up in between every pellet brand and to go into refill, I'm just lazy, sorry guys. So small cylinder, that's the one negative thing. And the fact that I can't push this gun up to 870 feet per second with 18 grainers. Those are the only two negatives, and those are small negatives. Will I buy this gun? Hell yes. Will I buy accessories for this gun? Hell yes. I think this gun is super light, it's super compact, it's got the versatility that you need. From a hunting perspective, this is probably one of the best guns I've ever shot. Alright, and that is coming from a person that has shot a couple of guns in my lifetime before. Having played with some of the big brands there, I absolutely adore this gun. The setup as is, the tripod or the bipod in front's a little bit too heavy. I would go for a lighter bipod here just to bring the overall weight down. I'll also look for a bipod that is slightly more, how can I say, lighter. This is a very heavy bipod, so if you do bench rest or target shooting, brilliant. The canting in this bipod is absolutely awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. It's a smooth mechanism. You can adjust it either which way. From that perspective, great, great quality. But on this specific gun, I would have liked a little bit lighter bipod in that scenario. The scope, perfect for hunting conditions. At 50 meters, even with the 18 grainers, my holdover was 1 mil dot. Only 1 mil dot. If I make any negative comment about the scope or something, I would have liked to see half a mil dot increments there. It's only got the full mil dot increments there. But from that perspective, super, super clear glass. I shot it on 12 times zoom. Very, very clear. I could actually track the pellet through the air even with my extra pair of glasses. So as a total setup, very, very nice. And this brings me to the final point. No, it doesn't bring me to the final point. Before I go any further, a big shout out to our friends at pelletgun.com. Thanks for entrusting me with this beauty of a gun. This is an absolute pleasure to shoot. Absolute build quality, and the service that I've received from you guys, top notch. So thanks for entrusting me with a gun, for loaning me this gun in this scenario. There's still 1 or 2 things I want to test with it. That's actually just my way of saying I don't want to give it back yet. I think this is an awesome little gun. I want to go and test it some more in a hunting environment. With a 40 shot full, I think that is plenty for a hunting environment. The Donny FL Fat Boy silencer in the front is quiet enough on this gun because you don't have that immense power. It is awesome, and it looks the part. Just look at that, man. Geesh, that looks like a fat tackies on your car, eh? That 17-inch mags, 255s that you put in your car. That's what it looks like. Superior build quality, absolute awesome, and there was no trouble whatsoever in dampening the sound on that one. Is it the quietest silencer out there? Probably not. Is it sufficient for this gun? Hell yes. Very nice combo. So again, pelletgun.com, thank you very much for entrusting me with the gun. I hope you guys get some responses from the viewers after this. I think this is real value for money. It's a super accurate gun. It's a gun that I would love to keep in my collection one day when I grow up and have enough money. Thank you very much. So that's the end of this episode. Keep on watching. I've got another small little surprise coming up very soon, and then from this perspective onwards, I want to take this gun out hunting. I did fit the Eagle Cam scope mount on the back. Everything works very nicely, so let's see if I can get some hunting footage for you guys. Have a lekker one, tune in, see you guys next time.
That's all, folks.